Hello and welcome back to Dime to Diamonds. I am Suzanne Porske with Phoenix Financial Group. I am joined today in studio with
Mark Farquhar, Phoenix Financial Group.
Rochelle Harp, CPA.
Harper County. I got to get that in. That's how we've always known her. That's how we send everybody to you at
harpaccounting.com.
There we go. Okay, what's your slogan?
Oh,
I know, now I forget. It's on the side of your car. Like you make music with our...
Make you rich.
well, I wish I made people rich. Yes.
Okay, you're going to remember it now that I'm not putting you on the spot. Tonight, don't text me at 2 a.m. when you get up. You're going to remember it.
No, I've never texted her at 2 a.m. I'm sure I am asleep by 8:30.
No, but you know how like, you wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, that's my slogan. Anyways. All right, guys, we're here. We're going to talk about HSAs and FSAs. I have a lot of clients, whether they're large companies that offer that, and then our own clients that have them. And I think people it's one of those things that are really not taking advantage of. And I want to kick myself for not sharing more openly, because when we get clients that come in here, I think of our latest clients, Mark and his wife, and they go, oh, I didn't know that I could be loading up at that HSA to help cover the costs of my Medicare supplement plans and medical expenses, prescription plans and stuff like that going into retirement.
Yeah, well, I think it's one of those when you first start your job and you get all that HR paperwork, it is very, very overwhelming.
Right.
HSA, FSA, all these acronyms. So a health spending account and a flexible spending account are the two different ones.
Right.
And a lot of that is driven more off of which plans you pick, because to be eligible for a health savings account, and think of it as health savings account that will be with you for a lifetime, you have to use the higher deductible cost insurance. That is the only way you can go that route. Versus a flexible spending account, it's flexible and it's an account that you can spend within the year. And that is the big difference between them. If you don't use that balance, you lose it.
So FSA, if you don't use it, you lose it. Mm-hmm. The other thing is that can be spent on childcare, where that HSA, I've not known them to do that.
Right. So your HSA is definitely going to be geared straight to health care costs, whether that's premiums when you have it later, whether that's dental bills, anything that's medical related.
And both of them come out, the cost, or, not cost, but what you're pulling out comes out before tax.
Correct.
And then you're spending it tax free.
Correct.
So I think some of our greatest stories is our clients that bought hot tubs because their doctor said that would be good for their health to get in for mobility and stuff like that. They were able to use their HSA money to purchase. So they came out tax free and is being spent tax free.
Right.
The other is a mattress, Purple.
Yeah.
Those mattresses, you can now $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 mattresses to help your back. You can use it without a doctor's note. You can go purchase a mattress for your bed and use your HSA money.
There's a lot of stuff later on. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff even later on in retirement you're going to need that you can use
anything
that
medical.
For. Yeah.
We have people that swipe their cards for when they go to like CVS or Walgreens or Walmart, that part of the store. They can use it, diapers for kids or stuff if they've got a sprain or a break. So I know a lot of companies, I don't understand. I think it's because there's a lot going on during open enrollment. Mm-hmm. It's like trying to take a drink of water out of a fire hose. But some of the companies that I go out and speak at to do the financial education piece, they'll say, can you please let them know that we are matching dollar for dollar? What does that mean? That means that the company puts in $1,800 and you put in $1,800, they put in $1,800. You've now just made 100% rate of return.
Correct. Free money.
Yep.
Free money. You don't have to use it right away. It grows. It has interest. It's interest bearing. It's not costing anything and you can use it later on. So I know when we have some of our clients getting ready for retirement, we're like, hey, HSA. And they'll say, no, talk to me about it. We can tell them you need to start max funding that because there is a maximum you can put in it. Or they say, yeah, actually we have. Has that been a good idea? And it's like, yeah, because now you've got your Medicare premiums that are it's going to cost you. People think that you're getting free health care at age 65. Nothing's free. No, it comes out of their Social Security check, but their supplement plans to cover that 20% that's not covered by Medicare. Takes care of that.
Right.
And prescription plans and the eye care. You got to buy eye care and dental care afterwards. So, I know that a lot of people don't understand that the limits of it and stuff like that. So that's what's in this blog. So the HSA right now, it's 4,300 individual, 8,550 family is what the limitation is on the HSA. And then there's $1,000 catch up if they're 55 or older. So they can actually be putting in $9,550 a year, tax free. I think a lot of companies only match a certain dollar amount. One of the most generous companies, Berenson Fluid Power, I think theirs is $1,800. That's still 100% rate of return on the first $1,800 you're putting into it. So,
well, and it's one of the few accounts that actually is put in tax-free, grows tax-free, and then is actually distributed tax-free. And that's
Right.
what a lot of people don't really understand is that, when you're doing these with other financial vehicles, you do end up having a tax on the backside if you're putting it in pre-tax. But HSAs are one where it can be fully tax-free money that's spent.
right. That and they're portable. Can't stress that enough. And same with whether it's all state benefits is your supplemental plan, like your cancer, critical illness, accident, or AFLAC or whoever. So many companies out there. Make sure they're portable. And I know every HSA plan is portable. So if you're at an employer and you have an HSA plan, you can ask them to then, when you go to your new employer, can you please take out of my paycheck and send the money over here to this HSA plan? And a lot of people forget that. They're more in the headspace of, I'm just left my employer. Now I'm just going to go to this new employer. They're in the HSA dollars that are sitting there. Make sure that you're remembering that that's money out there and plan accordingly. And now that all the healthcare costs are going up, you can help offset if you do have those expenses.
Well, genetically and how we all age, it's proven that you're going to spend more on medical care and expenses as you age than you are when you're younger. So you're putting this money back when you're younger for when you need it and you're going to actually use it.
Right.
So it's really good opportunity.
And then you can use it for caring for aging parents, respite care, home modifications, all that stuff, long-term care.
Really flexible. It's really
It really is. I think that it is just a hidden gem out there that people are really not, it's not talked about enough. So that's why I wanted to talk about it today to our listeners, to our clients and our prospects and stuff like that is.
I just don't think also I think it's important to have your financial advisor to get with them and plan them, because I don't think they're expressing the benefits your employer. They don't seem to be
Right.
everybody the advantages of doing that or stressing it like they used to.
Right. And I know for us, and this is to everybody that's out there, if you have an employer or you're a human resource manager, we offer free lunch and learns. We bring the learn, you bring the lunch. You feed your people. We will talk to them during that. And that's where we go in and we really complement the HR department. Right. We help them meet your ERISA Act, stating that you have to show that every one of your employees has been educated.
Right.
A lot of times you're getting a signature, but they're really not getting it, the education.
The online education where you have to go in. And that's another thing. Yeah. You need to look into that a little more to find out. Some have links you can go into and where it breaks down the benefits, but yeah, anyway.
And so I'm going to encourage our listeners, get on with your, like on that portal that you have for your benefits with your employer as you're the employee. Get on there and see if they offer HSA. If they don't, maybe it's a conversation you can have with them because they're missing out. I know for employers that offer that, they are a step up. You're going to recruit and hire better people, right. Better employees when you offer more of that. It doesn't.
And as an employer, they don't have to do the match, right? So, I mean, there's still, maybe a little bit of cost, but it's not that you're, as an employer, thinking, oh, now I got to give $1,800 to each employee. They don't have to match. So it's still an opportunity that they ought to take a look at to see what the cost is. And it's not going to be as drastic as what I think they think it might be.
Right. And if you've got kids that, are looking at, we have some of our clients that bring in their adult children that maybe are getting out of college, going to look for a job. It's not like it used to be where everybody had pensions and retirement plans and all that. So now these companies that do offer that, they may pay you a little bit less per hour, but you have to look at the big picture. I think of my husband who joined an electrical union 40 some years ago. Popular or not popular, I don't know, but now he's got pensions set up that these kids, when I say, oh, do you belong to the local union? It's like, no, it costs money and they take out of your paycheck. What are you doing for retirement?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And so that's where we're able to help. And then if you're an HR person and you want to up your game and you want free support and help, we are more than happy to offer our services. We don't take the time away from you paying your employee. We do go in for a lunch and learn. We educate them on whatever your benefits are. And then we offer them our services in our office when they're not at work. I guess some employers are like, so they want to meet you during work hours. Well, we don't do that. We are two employers, so we don't want you paying for them to get educated. So, the blog also talks about the non-qualified withdrawals and what happens.
So at that point in time, if you take out money that isn't being used for some type of medical expense or something that is qualified, you're going to pay taxes on it at that point in time at your tax rate. So it's just income at that point. But,
right. And there's a 20% penalty on most HSA providers if you're under age 65.
Right.
So if you're taking it out because you want to go buy a jet ski,
you might want to look at John
boats. You're going to pay an extra 20% penalty if you're younger than 65. And then, ordinary income. So that's another thing we tell our clients, whether it's 401ks, HSAs, talk to us about the tax implications before you start willy-nilly pulling money out of your different savings, and let us
definitely get some guidance on this
for you.
Those should always be a last resort to touch. Opportunities, looking at what your penalties will be, plus you're going to recognize income, versus if you went and got a loan, even at 8% or 10%, you're still typically better off looking at that 8 to 10% loan versus the other. There's always unique circumstances that maybe that is the only option, but you should at least talk to somebody before you do that, because, compounding interest, and we get into all that, it's not a good move.
I had a 35-year-old in here a week ago that his employer, they're dissolving the company, I believe is how it's going. He's without a job. So he's now wanting to start his own business. So he's like, I think what I'll do is just take my money in my IRA and cash it out, pay the taxes. And I'm like, so no, there's so many, you can do self-directed IRAs. You can take and do stuff, but there's a whole game and a whole set there, because you don't want to pay the 10% penalty because you're under 59 and a half, and then pay the state and local taxes,
right?
All that. So that's where talking to a financial professional, there's a lot of us that are out here like us that offer the consultation at no cost. So I'm going to encourage you to do that. Again, we're going to wrap this up. On FSA, the quick snapshot, the 2025 limits are $3,300 per person, $6,600 per household on FSAs. Again, that's more on the flexible spending. That is on, I believe,
the year time frame. You have to use it within that year,
or you lose it.
The money,
and it can be for childcare. I think most of our open enrollments I'm on, that's usually the talk is, we did not count on the fact that we had time off that we were going to take. So we don't have childcare expense around the holidays because we planned for it. And now we have this money. And how do we get it out of our FSA without having an expense for it? And there is not an answer to that, because that is the catch.
It is.
But the health savings account, it just keeps on rolling, baby.
Right.
Yep. Again, it's the better option if you're able to do the high deductible plan. But there's that caveat to it. So,
right.
Because like you said, it just keeps going and growing and growing and growing until you use it for what you need to use it.
Right. And you can change every year. Mm-hmm. Like you can have an HSA one year because you have a higher deductible. Then somebody in the family, we have somebody right now in his 30s fighting cancer. So now they'll want to do a lower deductible to be able to afford all that. He would not be able to contribute into the HSA.
Correct.
Go back up to higher deductible, you can turn it back on.
Correct.
So that's where we encourage. It's not a one and done. It's not one size fits all. Correct. It's definitely planning and being a strategist with your money. So, All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. We're doing these bite-sized 15-minute podcasts so they're more palatable, listenable, if that's a word. So I want to thank our listeners and our viewers today for watching and listening to Dime to Diamonds. Again, I'm Suzanne Porske with Phoenix Financial Group.
Mark Farquhar with Phoenix Financial Group.
Rochelle Harp, CPA.
You guys have a great day, and we will catch you next time.